Hey gang, so last time we talked about how to turn a system of equation into an augmented matrix, and we are actually going to use that skill to start solving our matrices. Alright, these are all really elementary row operations. You're going to take, it's kind of like elimination, how you take a row and you multiply it by a number so that something else cancels out, and that's what we want to happen. Our goal is going to be to make sure that this first number, whatever it is always a 1. So let me start by turning this into a matrix. Easy enough, right? Okay. The goal is to make sure that this first piece is a 1. Well, we have that, so check. The next goal is to turn this into a 0. After that, I want to turn this into a 0 and then turn this into a 0. The reason for this is so that I have one variable equaling a number. Once I know what z is, I can take z, plug it in here, and find y. And once I know what y and z are, I can take them in the original and figure out what x, y, and z are. Okay, so these are really easy operations to do, but you just kind of have to stay focused on what the goal is. So the goal is to make this a 1, then 0, 0, 0. And you have to go in that order, because otherwise you're going to end up undoing some of the work. So step 1 is already done for us. We have a 1 there, so that's great. Step 2 is to think, how am I going to turn this into 0? Well, I could easily multiply this whole row by a -1 and add it. Now, I don't want to actually change this row, so what I'm going to do is a lot of notation. So I'm going to write -1 times row 1 and add that to row 2. I'm going to keep my line 1 the same, but row 3 will stay the same. Row 2 is what's going to change. This is what's going to change right here. So I have to think, okay, what is 1 times -1 added to this row right here? So that would give me 0. Take -1 times -1, you're going to get 1, add that to 2, so this becomes a 3. Again, take -1 times 3, which is -3, add it to -2, and you're going to get -5. -1 times 4 is -4, add that to 10, you're going to get 6. Okay, so I'm not touching the first row or the second row. In my head, or off to the side somewhere, I'm going to take -row 1 and add that to row 2, and that's this matrix. The next goal is to get this to 0 out. So, pretty similar to the last one, I can take -3 row 1, add that to row 3. So now, row 1 is staying the same. Row 2 is staying the same. Row 3 is what's going to change. Okay? So I have to think in my head, what is -3 times row 1? That's -3. If I add that to 3, I'm going to get 0. -3 times -1 is 3. Add that to your previous row 3, and you're going to get 2. -3 times 3 is -9. Add that to 5, and you're going to get -4. And -3 times 14. Add that to, or -3 times 4, which is -12, add that to 14, and that's going to give you 2. We're super close to achieving our goal. I just need to get this to 0 out, and then we'll be good. So in order to get this to 0 out, I'm going to take half of row 3. I'm just going to cut everything in half because these are all even numbers. And sometimes there's more than one way to do this, but I should have worked with the smaller the numbers, the better. So I'm going to leave row 1 the same, row 2 the same, and I'm just going to cut row 3 in half. And hopefully you're seeing why, because now all I have to do is add these 2 rows and add them together. However, the issue with that is if I add row 1 to row 3, I'm now going to have a 1 here, so I'm going to be undoing my work. So let's try to think of a different way to make this happen. What if we take -3 times row 3 and add that to row 2? Just bear with me here and see how this is going to play out. If I take -3 times row 3 and add that to row 2, my row 1 is going to stay the same. And my row 3 will stay the same. What's going to change is row 2. So take -3 times this row. And you could even write that down below. Like if you want, you could write down what that is multiplied by -3 if it's too much to do in your head. Take this and add it to row 2. So that's going to give me 0, 0, 1, and 3. Okay, this is good. We want zeros. However, I wanted to have a 0 here. Well, one thing you're allowed to do is switch rows around. So I'm going to do row 1, switch with row 2. Now I'm basically done, okay? Because let's fill back in our variables. I now have that z equals 3. Well, if you take that and plug it in here, x minus y plus 3z 4, y minus 2z, which is 3, put that in here, 1. I can solve for y, so y would be 7. And then I can take z and y, plug them in here, so x minus 7 plus 3 times 3, x minus 7 plus 9, x 2 equals 4, so x equals 2. So I could write my answer like this. 2, you always want to go x, y, z. 2, y was 7, z is 3. Okay? If you take those numbers and plug them into the original systems of equation, every single statement should be true. Alright, so this was just practicing our elementary row operations. So you can cut a row in half. You can multiply a row by an integer. You can switch rows, and you can add rows. Let's look at another one. Okay, very first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an augmented matrix. once we do that, we have to focus on getting this very first number to turn into a 1. Well, I could easily just cut this whole row divided by 4, okay? So I'm going to do 1/4 of row 1. So I've divided row 1 by 4, which is the same as multiplying by a 4th. The next thing I need to do is I need to make this a 0. Well, I can do that by multiplying this by -3 and then adding it to row 2. So we're going to do -3 row 1 plus row 2. Pause it, think about it, work it out on your end. Make sure that you're doing this part kind of in your head. You're doing -3 times this row, and if you want, you can write those numbers above it, and then you're adding that to your row 2 here, and that's where these numbers are coming from. So now my next goal is to make this become a 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 times row 1 and add that to row 3. So if you want, this would be a good time to pause it, see if you can do this part on your own. Play it when you're ready to see how that row works out. Okay. Our next goal is going to be to turn this into a 0. Now sometimes you can also turn this into a 1. If you want, that's really easy to do. Again, the smaller the numbers, the better. So if you see that these are all even and you want to just go ahead and cut them in half, just maybe save you a little bit of time later on, that's not a bad idea. So I'll just go ahead and do that because it's an easy thing to do. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it does. So I'm just going to cut everything in that row in half. Just makes it easier later on to do some of the other operations. Okay, so I'm going to turn that, now I'm working with some smaller numbers. I'm going to turn this 5 into 0, and I'm going to do that by doing -5 times row 2 and adding it to row 3. Again, this would be a good time to pause, do this part on your own. And then now you have what we want. We want to plug all of our variables back in. We have our z. We know -10z equals 20, so that means z equals -2. Take that, plug it back into this line, where you have y plus 4 times -2 equals -7. Work that out, you should get y as 1. Take both of these, plug them into the original, and you should get -3. So here is your final answer. If you're working in a matrix and you see that this happens, that's going to mean that there is no solution. Okay, just like you have a number that 0 does not equal 1, right? That's not true. So this cannot be solved. This means there's one solution. That's what we've been doing. You can also have infinitely many solutions. So if the whole bottom row just zeroes out, that's infinitely many. Okay, I have one for you to try on your own. So I want you to pause the video, try this one on your own, and when you're ready, play for the solution. Okay, so you can see that I switched row 1 and 3. Then I added row 1 to row 2. I took 3 times row 1 and added to row 3. And then 2 times row 2 and added it to row 3. I got all zeros down here, so that means infinitely many solutions.